Welcome to the Grapevine, the best in edutainment. Of course, edutainment is
education,
meeting,
entertainment.
So we are going to educate you. We're going to entertain you, especially today because we have a very, very special guest, very controversial topics going on right now. I'm sure your Facebook page is full of a bunch of sometimes hate, sometimes misunderstanding, a lot of times a lack of education and understanding, but you're out there witnessing what's going on, so we're going to bring it to you because we can't entertain you if we're not educating you, and that's what we're doing here at the Grapevine. So, again, you know, Martius and Steve, I'm Damon. Real quick, before we get started, big announcement, guys. I didn't even spring this on you, but by the time this show airs, the website will be launched, conduitconnections.com. That's where the guests are going to be able to see the shows and archive shows and other forms of videos to provide you entertainment, education, inspiration, motivation, goods, services. If you need it, you're going to find it at conduitconnections.com. We're making your connections. And if you want to upload content, there's an area where you can comment and we can get your content out there because people will need you. People need to contact each other about many different things. Definitely. So if you can see a video, is that not a best way to find out where to get what it is you need?
Yeah.
And you need the Grapevine, and we need you because we need somebody to edutain, and that somebody is you. And we are going to be right back with a very special guest. Come right back with us. You're watching the Grapevine.
At GPA Web Design, we provide professional services to meet the needs of our customers. Locally owned and operated, GPA Web Design caters to the small businesses of the surrounding area and beyond. So if you're looking for a website or digital graphics, give GPA Web Design a call at 931-378-0201 or visit us on the web at gpawebdesignllc.com. That's gpawebdesignllc.com. At GPA Web Design, it's better for the buck.
I'm tired and I'm 19 years old. I need to stop and listen for a minute, real quick. I'm prepared for tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow might bring, but I'm prepared. You could be prepared. Contact me at tires123@gmail.com. Let's be prepared.
We are back with the Grapevine, the best in edutainment, and you see the three of us here, and our set got a little lighter.
I know you didn't. Now some people would say that's racist.
That's right. And I want to see how many of y'all are going to say, I can't believe he said that.
Actually, you could say we added a little color.
We did add a little color. Exactly. However, Doc Smith, one of the show's good friends, he's been with us before. Doc, welcome back to the Grapevine. Thank you for... Oh, I thought y'all was going to shake hands.
Absolutely. I didn't want to cross up. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and right now we have a bunch of interesting things going on in the national media, and I have some interesting takes on the media, and I'm sure they're going to come out as we talk. But you have some very strong ideas and very strong views about the things that are going on in the media right now, and we're going to talk about a couple of them and let the Grapevine audience know what you think, and we're going to give you a little bit about what the Grapevine thinks, because kind of like we've alluded to and we've said a bunch of times, communication is the key.
Absolutely.
We have to talk things out. We have to be able to sit down and talk with somebody that is not like us.
Right.
Because me and Martiz can agree all day long because we're a whole lot alike. But that doesn't mean that me and you can just agree like that because we aren't necessarily alike, but we are a whole lot more alike than people would like to think. And that I say some people would want us to think.
Absolutely. There are a lot of people that want us to see each other differently. You and I want the same things. Steve, you and I want the same things. We want a comfortable home.
Well, I don't know. You better be careful saying that about Steve.
Well, I don't know.
Stevie wants him. Stevie wants him. Stevie, oh, go ahead, yeah.
And we are back with the Grapevine.
There are people that want us to see differences where there aren't any differences. When you get down to the root of it, we want the same things. We want comfortable homes. a safe place to live, a good way to earn a living.
The ability to do what it is we want to do, the ability to walk out of my house, which is in whatever neighborhood I'm able to successfully afford to live in, and get into my car and drive wherever it is I want to go and enjoy the exchange of goods and services with merchants.
We all want the American dream, is what it is. America sells us a dream that says, this is what you can have if you're in America, and that's what we want. But it seems like the system is set up to not necessarily keep us together to get that.
Right.
Would you say, or am I?
It certainly appears that everything that we see going on in the in the what I like to call the mainstream media, what we see is they're trying to foster division, and in many ways, obviously, it's a black and white thing. They're trying to pit us against.
They're trying to continue the division.
Well,
and
yeah,
and in what I do on a regular, I see a whole lot of people. I see a whole lot of families. And I'm here to tell you that that fight for division is slowly being lost. This country is slowly turning brown. I don't know if anybody wants to admit that. And it's cool to see because you see a lot of different cultures blending. And pretty soon we're not going to be able to say he's black, he's white, he's this, he's that. So we're all going to be some sort of amalgam of a beautiful cream sort of Baskin and Robbins 31 flavor. Well, let me not say Baskin Robbins because they're not a sponsor. Unless you want to be. If you want to be a sponsor, Baskin and Robbins, the Grapevine wants you. But, you know, you look at the pralines and cream, and you look at it on a sugar cone, and that's what the world is looking like. So I don't know if the average person is able to see that or wants to see it.
I don't think the average person wants to see it. I think most of us, quite frankly, in America today have gotten lazy. We've gotten very lazy. Give me my 12-pack of beer on a Friday night and my remote control, and as long as I've got those things, whatever else is happening.
Whether I have a job or not.
Whether I have a job or not.
Matter of fact, I don't want a job. I want you taxpayers to pay for me to be able to sit on my couch and drink my beer on Friday night, the least amount of work I can do. I don't even want to go down to the DHS office to apply. Can I do that online?
Now, what is that doing for that person? That's that person putting themselves in the position of being dependent upon someone else. Wait a minute.
And their family, if they have children.
A step backwards.
Right. That's
about 150 years.
That's a marathon backwards.
Yeah. You have a lot of people wanting entitlements without the labor and the work put forth to deserve those entitlements. A lot of people now have the entitlement of, well, I should have this because somebody owes me this. Well, they owe me this because I didn't have this and I didn't have that. Somebody owes me. I don't owe you anything.
Right.
You aren't owed anything.
No.
You're owed get up, go to work, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. If that's what you want to do. Right. That's what you're owed.
An opportunity to do for yourself.
And that's what you have.
Right.
You have essentially a garden. You have a plot of land and the ability to weed the land, to till the land, to plant the seeds, to water it, and grow what it is you want to grow. But if you throw salt in there, you neglect it, and you just don't care about it, and you let the weeds overtake it, what are you going to get?
You're not going to harvest much.
A bunch of nothing.
And that's one of the things one of my common sayings these days is if you were to give me, people keep talking about freedom. In America, we have freedom. We have freedom. We have freedom. I'm going to tell you something. Give me just 10 acres. And you don't have to give me the 10 acres. No, you don't have to give it to me. I'll buy it. Let me buy 10 acres of land, just 10 acres, and give me true liberty. And that's what you were talking about earlier, Damon. The ability to do with my life what I choose to do with my life, as long as I don't interfere with you being able to do the same.
Exactly.
Give me that kind of liberty, and I would never be a slave to a bank. I would never be a slave to a corporate entity of any kind. I wouldn't have to work for anybody else. I could work for me. On that land, I am the law. That's sovereignty. We're talking about sovereignty here, and the United States government is actively stripping us not only of our state sovereignty. They've been doing that. They started doing that 150 years ago. 1861, they began stripping the states of our sovereignty. That's what the so-called Civil War was truly about. Stripping the states of our power that was given to us in the Constitution. The founders of this country outlined what the powers of the federal government were. The federal government was a creation of 13 colonies, or as we call them, states now. We created the federal government. It didn't create us. We gave it its powers, and those powers were limited, and they were enumerated specifically. Look at how far past those powers we've gone since 1865. I'm going to tell you something. The American dream that you talked about earlier, Damon, died on 9 April 1865 at Appomattox Courthouse.
Well, and I have trouble believing that, and that's simply because of the lifestyle disparities of the time. And it's kind of like I made the video. The rich people were not the ones fighting the Civil War and dying in the trenches. The rich people were not the ones that were losing money on the Civil War. The rich people wanted people to be different. So I can imagine at the time, a rich general in the South and a rich general in the North could probably, middle of the Civil War, sat down and shared some sort of drink and discussed different things.
I'm sure they did.
And went back and said, all righty, I'll see you later. We got to go back this way. And it was the lower class people that didn't have a life that they needed. And we're talking kind of about, well, many people talk about slavery being the cause of the Civil War, but there were white people that had conditions as poor as slaves.
Absolutely.
So it didn't benefit, well, it benefited the rich people to keep people apart and to keep the division, kind of like it does now. And
yeah, nothing much has changed.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you say that we were kind of living in our own Civil War as we speak right now, because we still have, like you said, the same disparities? You have the rich that are getting richer, you have the rich that are in control, and you have the rich that are keeping the poor separated.
And fighting.
And it's never the rich man that goes to war.
Keeping them distracted. And then when they do decide to, seems like they're starting to come together, they find something else to propagandize. I don't know if that's a word.
Come on, Jesse.
Can I talk like I want to? Can I preach like I want to?
Come on, Jesse, bring it. Well,
but you know, they create distractions for the general public to say, okay, they're going this way. Drop the bomb. Here it goes. Now they're back to the left. When progress is being made, now we're regressing, and we regress 10 times worse than we were. You know, you take, 2 steps forward and take 10 steps back.
Exactly. But we're going to take a break right now. We've been talking about a bunch of different things. We haven't even brought up the first topic we had mentioned, but this is going to go so far. We're going to be right back with more of the Grapevine, the best in edutainment.
When conflict arises,
Bro, I don't even know what you're talking about. I ain't trying to get with nobody.
no matter how it begins,
If you think you can just roll up on somebody's girl like that and expect nothing to happen, then you must be out of your mind.
many decisions must be made quickly.
Oh, dude, keep messing with you.
I got this.
What would you do?
So you that fool that's been in class talking to my girl?